Where my girls at? Where my girls at? Independent, free spirit. Ooh, it's so serious. Where my girls at? We ain't linked up in a cool minute. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. It's going down tonight. We going out tonight. Yeah, right. We going out tonight. It's going down tonight. Yeah, right. It's going down tonight. We going out tonight. Yeah, right. We going out tonight. It's going down tonight. Yeah, right.
Hey, 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 hey. Yep. Today you got a couple bad women. That's exactly right. This is Caterina. This is Caterina coming to you. I am so excited. Yay, yay, yay. Round of applause, round of applause. OMG. It is so exciting to be here on a Tuesday. I am coming to you today from Chicago, Illinois. We flew in last night after an amazing vacay. Thank you to my girlfriends for holding it down last week. And Friday, we got preempted by the golf tournament. How many of our tribe follows golf? We want to hear from you. We want to hear from you. Were you on the golf tournament? But OMG, true confessions. We love being here with you on We Got Issues every day. However, when we get a day off, it's kind of like, ooh, what do I do with my 6 to 7 hour? So I am excited. It's your girl, Caterina Harris Earl, coming to you from Chicago, Illinois. And this is We Got Issues, the Force of Friendship with Crisette Ellis out of Detroit, Michigan, with Sabrina Goodwin-Monday, now out of, you got to tell me your city. What city you in, Sabrina?
Geneva, Ohio.
Geneva. I told Anthony it was Geneva, Ohio right now, with Gloria Mayfield Banks, who is all over the world, but we know she lives in Ellicott City, Maryland. And I'm just excited that we're here today. This topic is going to be heavy. It's going to be heavy. So before we go heavy and we talk about from fame to shame with somebody who used to be our boy and now don't nobody want to claim him, R. Kelly. Okay. Before we talk about that, we're going to check in with the girlfriends and we're going to just talk, of course, about hot topics, because when I tell you, you know, we're messy, we're funny, we're classy, we're sassy, we are churchy, we are, some of us, sometime when you take a red eye, we are sleepy. Okay. I mean, I was in business class last night. I leaned all the way back and they brought the food. I said, Anthony, why didn't you wake me up for the food? He said, child, you was so sleep so hard. I didn't. You know, when you get food on a plane, you just like feel like you should wake up to eat it just because you got to.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
So anyways, this is so exciting to see my girlfriends after a week. So Gloria, how are you doing? Looking blue today.
Don't even try it, Katrina. Okay, we're going to do round robin. We're definitely going back to your vacation. We are definitely going back to your vacation because we want the 411. We've all been going crazy, out of sorts. I'm excited to be. This is Blue Day, and Katrina, you didn't get the memo. Sorry. We didn't get the memo. But it's sunshiny. Well, it's not really sunshiny, but it's sunshiny in my heart. It's sunshiny in my head. It's been a great couple of days. It's been a great week. We got a lot to unfold. You know, Chris is not here because she's celebrating her 33 years of marriage over there in Canada, living large, living her best life. I mean, yeah, this must be like vacation with your man month. Not only is it our anniversary month, it's vacation with your man month. Everything's going on. So I'm so excited. Lots going on. We're going to get back around. But before we do that, let's go to Geneva on the lake. What's going on, Sabrina?
Everything. Basically trying to turn this house into a home, baby. Trying to turn the house into a home. Decorating, put a candle over there, a rug over there. I mean, it's just really a time of get this house together so I can get on with my life. Even though it's temporary housing, it's where we are right now. And Kitty's just saying, I'm like, well, just put it in storage. He's like, well, it has to look decent. It has to be livable. And so I'm trying to make the house a home. So that's what I've been doing, but we're almost there. Feeling good, feeling better. You know, Gloria, you taught me a long time ago that it's important to have the attitude of we get the opportunity to. We get to. So I get to experience a new neighborhood. I get to experience a new community. I get to see new people and have new experiences. So I'm just staying in an attitude of gratitude in my new surroundings. So, girlfriend, thank you for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, yes, yes.
We're so excited for you.
That's something that we all are good at, is always seeing the bright side, even when there are you have to keep turning to look at the bright side. It's something that I've learned from all of you. And, you know, the reality is we do live a great life and we have so many bright sides. I mean, Sabrina, I was just thinking the other day, what is she going to do for Christmas? This was my thought. I literally sat on that for a moment, because normally Sabrina's Christmas is like, I was like, did you put it all in storage, or did you keep some of it out? Is the Black Santa still out to go in the front door? Like, what you going to do for Christmas? You going to rent a Christmas?
I don't even know.
What you gonna do?
It's funny because I had that thought today. And first I was like, I ain't putting up nothing. Okay. Hopefully we'll be somewhere in some faraway island. And then I said, well, maybe I'll put up one tree. Maybe I'll just put up one tree, because that's all that can really fit. So we'll see.
You know she's gonna light that place up.
Yeah.
You know she's gonna light it up. She's gonna light it up.
Even if you go to some house, some hotel, some island, some something, you are not about to not have Christmas up in there at Monday Central.
I know.
Whatever Monday Central is.
I know. That's true.
And
That's
now,
true.
Anthony asked me the other day, now that I cleaned out my garage and got organized and found those Christmas, the Christmas stuff I have been looking for the past 2 years. He said, what's your Christmas going to look like? I said, I'm putting every one of them. Everything is going up. Okay. Might go up early this year for the first time ever, because it's all labeled. Okay. But I just want to tell you, Gloria asked, I mean, vacation is essential. Just say that to yourself.
Talk about it.
If you're driving, vacation is essential. We all do it. We all love it. We all have been denied it during this time, because normally we, live on a plane, a train, an automobile. And I repeated it to everybody. I want to sit on a beach for a week. I just want to go sit on a beach for a week. We thought we would go out of the country. We had that terrible theft. Anthony's passport was stolen. And so that was out. Didn't think I could put a mask on for 5 hours to go to Hawaii. Heard that there was an uptick there. That was out. So we decided, I live in one of the most beautiful states. Let's drive up the coast. So we drove up Highway 1. First stop was Santa Barbara, which is beautiful. We could see Montecito, where Oprah's estate is. You couldn't see it. That would be lying, because it's covered in trees, right? But you could just imagine. behind those gates. I know your girlfriend has been behind those gates, Sabrina. But when I tell you, Santa Barbara is so beautiful, so beautiful. However, everywhere you go, there's a tribute to those who the land was taken from. So everywhere you go, I'm telling you, they have Native American tribute. There is Latin American tribute, Mexican American tribute. Some of the most expensive property in the world was originally not owned by America, right? It just wasn't. It's just really. So,
right.
I always love the history when I go. And then it's climate change. Something is happening. We normally have a really late summer. September, October can be one of our warmest days. It was kind of cold. We decided to drive further up the coast, and I promise you, bucket list, Laguna Niguel, Orange County, land of you name the car, Lamborghini. The only place I've seen more cars than that is in Dubai. But I tell you, it ain't nothing for somebody to walk out and jump in their Bentley or their Maybach or something. But sitting on that beach, it was unbelievable. 2 weddings were literally on my porch, because it was just that beautiful, overlooking the Pacific Ocean. I could sit there forever. And, it just was beautiful. It's essential. You must, whatever you do, so many times you can drive right in your area, a staycation, a vacation, get away, figure out, make it a priority, budget for it, and get away.
I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
How long did it take you to totally shut down? Like, was it a day? Was it 2 days? Did you shut down it all the way? Like, talk to us about that, because we got nothing but type A people on this call right here.
Well, I would say that I'm more lean toward the Gloria side than the Sabrina side. Okay. Probably. I was still checking in. We just started something new in business. And so I kind of had my eye a little bit on it. But honestly, as much as I dislike the phone when it's always attached, it is nice that you could just jump in 15 minutes and jump out. And I turned it off at night. I would just totally turn it off and, just kind of jump in and out. But even sitting on that ocean and answering a quick text was still relaxing. I mean, it just was the great point. Food. So, I didn't totally achieve turning it all the way off. I will say that. So right. I could use another 2 weeks of that. But oh my gosh, y'all, in the news today, we got so much stuff in the news today. Let's just talk about this first. Today is National Voter Registration Day. Did not know that, but my sorority, I'm sure the Deltas are doing something as well. AKA is doing something big. The National Association of Secretaries of State established the first National Voter Registration Day 2012. In 2014, it became the fourth Tuesday of September. And so this is the day we all are challenged. If you know someone who is not registered to vote, get them registered today. And if you know someone who thinks they're registered, but they've moved, because anybody can jump in on this, but this is going to be the year that if you've moved, if your name is changed, I mean, you name it, they're going to try it.
This is the year.
Right. So you got to check it. Do you guys live in a state where you get, what are you drinking, Gloria? That looks good. Is that a smoothie?
Yes, girl. I'm on that meal plan. You better eat every 2.5 hours. Eat something every 2.5 hours. They don't stop for nothing. Every 2.5 hours. Eat something, drink something, do something every 2.5 hours.
Do you have to set an alarm, or do you just know to do it?
Oh, no. I have to set an alarm. I mean, I don't know about you all, but I don't eat because I'm busy doing other things. I prefer not to eat. I don't like to cook. So it is an inconvenience for me. Inconvenience.
Yeah. The alarm. Eat something. Put something in your mouth that's not sugar. So do you guys does your state call you? And this will be interesting, Sabrina, because you're one of the people, you got to register, right? And so does your state call you and say your ballot has been received? Do you get a call like that? California does.
In North Carolina, I don't know about Ohio. In North Carolina, we did. Oh, they were on it. I definitely got that communication. So I'm just getting into this Ohio system. So I don't know, but I got to register today here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So that's a big thing. Sometimes people move and they forget to register, Right. So that's important. And then, girlfriends, what do you think about this? New York fired all unvaccinated nurses and hospital workers effective last night at midnight.
Yep. Sure did.
I did not hear that. They fired them?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Terminated. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so, what are your thoughts? Because if there's a shortage, would you rather them have fired the unvaccinated and then you go to the hospital and there's nobody there to help you? Or, I mean, how do you feel about it? Because there clearly is a shortage. They're bringing in the National Guard, right?
Yeah, I saw them bring the National Guard, but is the National Guard qualified to do what all those people were doing on staff? That was my question. But something has to be done. Something radical had to be done to get a hold of this situation, because as we go into the fall months, I'm hearing more and more people die. And so I was happy to see it. I know it's radical, but what else are we going to do? How do we get to immunity as a country if we don't have things done like this? So that was my thought.
Wow, that's a lot. Oh, that's a lot. You know what? My brain was, I agree that we have to push hard. We have to push really hard. It's so interesting. A state like New York, part of it is they got so many people. Part of it is they were the worst hit, period. Part of it is they're so unprepared to take care of the underprivileged. You know, they're the privileged, the most privileged live in New York, and the least privileged live in New York. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens, because the privileged will still get care, but the underprivileged will not get care. So it's very, very, very interesting, the part where they fired them. Like, they didn't suspend them for 6 months.
No.
You know, geez, Louise, I just can't even imagine being in a healthcare system that is so super duper short, and now the people are fired. That's incredible. That means they're not even eligible to come back in an emergency, which I would consider this to be one. Like, that's
Absolutely.
deep. That's very deep.
I bet there's somebody in our tribe who is listening and can call us 313-778-7600. You're a nurse, you're on staff, you know someone who was affected. Tell us about it. We want to hear about it for sure. I will say this, she stood by it, hard decision, and I bet you she will not be the first to make that decision. I will say this, after being alone for the week on vacation, being away from home, and then going to a church where I'd say 80% had masks on, 20% didn't. Some had it on correctly, some didn't have it on correctly. I went and got tested before I went home to my mama. I went and I found a test. I got tested and I got the results before I went home to my mom. It's just, I'm not serious about it. So it's deep. So I'd love to hear if anybody knows, type it in the chat or let us know how many people were fired. I wonder how many, what percentage of them were not vaccinated.
Wow.
So let's get into the topic. And this,
wait a minute, Caterina, we got to hear about Gloria's conference, right quick, Gloria.
Yes.
Your social media was on fleek. Okay, I wanted to know the women. I wanted to hear the cussing. They was praying. They was cussing. They was cussing, and they was praying. So, I mean, I know they're some of the baddest women in business. But tell us all about your
weekend, girl. So messy. She is so messy. She is so messy.
Thank you, Sabrina. Thank you. No, we really want to know. And you're going to talk through the break and then come back after the break and finish telling us. So tell us, please.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So number one, it was an experience for sure. She said, this is Coach Stormy Wellington. She won an experience she gave. She said, it's not a show. It's not a this. It's not a that. It's an experience, y'all. It was an experience. First, the chick's got over 1 million people on her Instagram, and she is hardcore about making sure that is her deal. Second, she's filming for a TV show, a reality TV show. And when I tell you that chick played to that camera, but she was who she was. She didn't change for them. She might have added some stuff. I think there was some stuff that was added, some events added, some stuff was added for sure. But she was 100% Stormy, like 100% Stormy. The third thing I would say is that they are so nice, as hardcore as they can be with their language or their music. They are very, very servant. There's very few times you go to events like that where people wait on you hand and foot. Is there anything you need? Is there anything you need? Is there anything you need? Their effort towards excellence was personified. It was really very interesting and shattering in my head what is capable when people really want to volunteer to make everybody feel good. I mean, they were like, and it just, how sometimes you can go to events and they like, let me see your wrist, let me see your wrist, let me see your wrist. Even the way they asked for verification that you were supposed to be in there was done at a very, very, very nice place. I'm telling y'all, the music was loud and it was big and it was touching the soul. But I kept saying, can I go live now? No, I can't go live now. Can I go live now? No, I can't. And then I don't know the songs. I mean, I thought I knew music. Back in the day, I used so much music. I'm like, I don't know that song. I don't know what they're going to say. I don't know that song. I don't know what they're going to say. That was big. Then her 21-year-old daughter took the mic.
Okay, Gloria, but
OMG,
back
y'all.
up because so much of the audience doesn't know who Stormy is. They don't know the
Oh,
name of the conference. They don't know
yes,
where it was. So and
yes,
I love the name of the conference, Hold My
yes.
Hand, Girlfriend, or something.
Girl,
That's
hold
good.
my hand. Yeah, it's called Girl, Hold My Hand. Okay, so let me give you something. We're out of Houston, Texas. She's out of
We're
Houston,
gonna come
Texas.
back after break, Gloria. We want
Okay,
to hear
all
about
right.
it all after the break. After the break,
Okay,
Gloria's gonna talk to the
yeah.
Facebook audience too. She might even give you some tea. So keep on listening to We Got Issues, because we got issues, but we also have fun. And you're gonna hear some more about the fun, the business, all the juice, and then we're gonna get into our topic. Thanks for listening in. We're gonna go pay the bills. Stay right there. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, are you on Facebook? Can you guys hear, or do we have one person? Shanika, did I say your name right? Shika Daniels. Hey, she said to everybody. I don't know if anybody else is on Facebook Live, if you guys are off, or if you went over to the 910 Superstation on Facebook. So if you went over there, just let us know if you're here, because we want to know if the Facebook audience is here, because we can't see you. Totally cannot see you. Totally want to embrace you. This is going to be so good. Okay, so I did come off of a big event. I cannot wait to tell you guys more about the event that I went to. I want to let you guys know that if you're listening, I want you to get ready to embrace a mind shift. Oh, look at me, y'all. Seriously. First time I've ever used magnetic lashes. Woo, that is funny. I wonder why there's only one person here, though. I wonder why you're the only one on Facebook. Was it hard to find? What is going on here? You guys, that's really sort of interesting. Look at me trying to fix my lash. OMG, y'all. I've never used magnetic lashes before. But I understand they're supposed to be fabulous. And I'm going to sit here on the radio and fix my lash and stop being crazy.
Okay, great.
Because that's exactly what's going on. So anyway, well, I'm glad you're here. Okay, Gloria Lewis is here. You couldn't find the broadcast. Oh, so you're on YouTube. Okay, that's good to know you're on YouTube. Okay, that's good to know. She's on YouTube. Okay, YouTube is there. Okay, I'm just now getting here. I couldn't find it on Facebook. Wow. Okay, I'm so glad that you guys are so kind to tell us what's going on. So we're streaming to YouTube now. We don't often talk to people on YouTube, but this is exciting. Welcome. Maybe we need to open that up. You know what? There's always challenges in your life, and when there's a challenge, there's always a message, that there's some training that happens with it. So I'm super excited about that. But we're on YouTube. Okay, Dorothy says we're on YouTube watching. So that's pretty cool. But it's interesting. We lost the Facebook audience here. Anyway, when we come back, we're going to be talking about R. Kelly. And if you can hear me, do me a favor. See this finger? Use it to dial 313-778-7600. It's right here on the bottom of the screen here. And we got issues. Uh-oh. We're back.
We need Gloria to pop back in, and she was telling us all about it. All about your weekend. So keep on telling us about the conference, Gloria.
Okay, and y'all ask me questions if I leave out anything. Thanks, Sabrina. Okay, so Stormy Wellington, under Coach Stormy Wellington, you got to go follow her on Instagram or Facebook if you want it hard. Number one, if you want it hard, if you like it all, like all of it, like I learned so much about raw. I mean, the chick is deep, but she's you guys, she's a multi-millionaire. She's very bold. One of the lessons I got was we are so conditioned to be thinking about what other people think about what we do that we don't do what we truly want to do. And she's just clear about it. So she's on Instagram Live at 8:00 for meditation, 9:00 for workout. I mean, she'll call you dumb. She'll call you fat. She'll call you all that. She'll call you everything. But she will also tell you all the things that she loves about you. She's an amazing affirmer. She's very creative at that mic and very creative on how she makes people feel. She's been through the trenches and she won't forget about it. She tells you her truth about her upbringing. I mean, talk about just very different upbringing, not controversial, but different upbringing between what I had and what she had. And so we had a chance to blend that conversation. It was very interesting. She's loud about the fact that she wants a husband, but only wants a husband if he's a certain kind of man. She's not messing around. But the event is called Girl Hold My Hand, because she said as she was coming up, building her business and building her success, there weren't enough women holding her hand. And so she calls the event The Awakening, and that when you go, you really will be shifted. And I love that about that, because you got a chance to see, so many times we judge people that are harder on the outside than we are courageous enough to be. That's what I consider it, to be courageous. And she was very courageous to be in your face, very bold, on it, completely creative, is not apologizing. I mean, talk about super bad all day long. She's not apologizing about how powerful she is. So it was quite the lesson. And if you see any of it on Facebook Live or Instagram Live, I'm telling you, it is something to see. And I think what I want to end with is I want to say that if you choose to embrace the differences of others, you will gain something. You have to embrace it. You got to stay hungry and curious in order to learn. So Sabrina, you want to add to that? Because you saw some of it here and there.
Yeah. And you didn't say that she is the #1 network marketer in the country, right? She made something like 13 million dollars.
I know the woman. I know as a woman she is.
Yeah.
12 million.
Yeah, 12 million in 1 year. Well, she has got quite the story. I mean, I heard that, she grew up with a mother who was a drug dealer and just had a baby at a very young age, and talking about pulling herself up from her bootstraps, not being the victim, but being a victor. Her story is very, very inspiring. But you're right. If you want the hard coaching, there you have it. Now, different strokes for different folks. I don't know if I can have you cussing me out and then affirming me, okay? But hey, it works for some people.
Yeah.
People.
You ain't got to worry about it, because I don't even know half the words, for real.
Okay.
But she was fire. She was fire. And I will honestly tell you, she turned up my courage a lot. She took that knob of courage and turned it way up, and I'm refusing to let it go back down. I'm refusing. So yeah.
So turn your courage up. I know we're going to get on to R. Kelly, but turn your courage up. How, Gloria? How was your courage turned up? In what way?
Specifically, I am turning down the volume on caring so much about what people think about what I do, because I know at my core I'm nice. I know at my core I'm kind. I know at my core I do right. I know at my core I bring excellence. But I know that I can dim my light sometimes so that I don't hurt other people's feelings, and it slows everything down. And so you just people say there's pivotal times. And so what she said to me is, when she started in her network marketing business, she watched me. She watched everything about me, all the YouTubes, everything. She just watched me, and I so inspired her. I said, well, and now you're inspiring me on my next. So it's like a full circle kind of situation here. The other thing is that she thinks so big I thought big for women, but she really thought big for women, like for real, and doesn't apologize at all.
How long has she been in direct sales, Gloria? We're talking about Coach Stormy Daniels. For those that just joined in, there was a challenge, technical difficulty on the Force of Friendship Facebook page. And so now I think y'all can see us, because I see the chat is popping now. But they were looking for us. And y'all know, if you ever can't find us, we're always going to be on that 9:10 a.m. app. We're always going to be on 9:10 a.m. Facebook, 9:10 a.m. Superstation, their website. So thanks and our YouTube. So, but I'm glad y'all are joining in now. So, Gloria, how long has she been in direct sales?
She's got to be in at least 20 years. I mean, she's young still.
Okay.
She's still young, but she was at least 20 years, I would say. I met her a long time ago. So, but she's been in several companies. So that's another thing, if something not working for her, she's over there. If something not working, she doesn't rest on what doesn't work for her. She moves. And the other thing is, y'all, she requires excellence from people around her. and she requires it. It's not about no
Excellence
because
is
she
required.
understands. Yeah, she understands that if I don't cause excellence in areas, then a lot of people that I'll never know have been hurt because of my lack of excellence.
Yeah, yeah, that's big. That's big. And I think the courageous part is you have got to quiet the noise. I love Crash the Chatterbox, that book, because there's so much noise out there and it's your life. It's your life. You got to live it. Your mama ain't going to do it for you. Your kids ain't going to do it for you. Your girlfriend ain't going to do it for you. And everybody has something to say about you and what you're doing. But then when it comes down to it, you got one life to live and you better live it. You have to live your truth and do what works for you. So I was just curious, Gloria, to see how it went. I mean, you looked amazing the weekend, and I know there are many life lessons. So thanks for the update.
Yeah, we want to know more. We want to know more. We know that you'll be talking and sharing and all of that. And it brings it up. I mean, I love what the chat is saying. Excellence is required, repeating what you said. And honestly, it is a great segue to what we're talking about today, because I mean, it's unequivocal that someone can be talented and have some major issues. We have seen it with all kinds of folks, and you know, some people do things that cause harm to themselves, and some people do things that cause harm to others. And today we are talking about, you know, from fame to shame, R. Kelly. We've danced to his. It is impossible to like R&B music without having grooved to a song he wrote or a song he sung. I know that Anthony's oldest daughter I have seen her standing on the bottom of the stage at several of his concerts, and I was too afraid to ask her, did you throw your panties at the stage? Okay, because the women would go crazy. Okay, they just would go crazy. That was the situation. But when I tell you, when you really get to see, this is the season that's what is done in the dark is coming to the light, y'all. And it is coming to the light, and it is, frankly, for every one of us, it is just sickening. I can't think of any other words. And I'm going to share a little bit about, well, let me just roll here with a little bit about how this started. Sexual assault history of the famed R&B artist, R. Kelly, who had been on the billboards for over 25 years, y'all. He was charged with aggravated sexual abuse involving multiple victims dating back to 1998, marking the latest charges against a man trailed for decades by lurid rumors. August 31st, 1994, 27-year-old Kelly marries 15-year-old Aaliyah. I don't even know how you marry someone again.
I mean, again.
And some people said he may have had sexual relations with her as early as 12. So we want to hear you in the chat. We want you to call in 313-778-7600. Set any of this record straight. Their marriage was annulled months later because of Aaliyah's age. Exactly. I don't know if it was even valid to be annulled. And we know, unfortunately, she died in a plane crash at 22, which I even wonder if some of the rumors about that of her being
I was wondering that too.
Just, you know, when somebody is controlling you mentally, I mean, maybe you just don't make the best decisions. November 1996 was the year that his famous song, I Believe I Can Fly, came out. And that same year, he married 22-year-old Andrea Lee, a dancer from his touring troupe. The couple goes on to have 3 children. 1997, so this thing is so long. I'm just giving you the cliff notes. Okay. 1997, Tiffany Hawkins files a complaint against Kelly, alleging intentional sexual battery and sexual harassment while she was a minor. And the lawsuit was reportedly settled for, let's just say it, a measly $250,000 shortly after she gave a 7-hour deposition. Not that money puts a Band-Aid on anything, but it's just, ugh. August 2001, Tracy Sampson files a lawsuit against Kelly, alleging their sex was illegal under Illinois law because he was in a position of authority over her. The case is reportedly settled out of court in the spring of 2002. We know the famous settle out of court and what that brings. The Chicago Sun-Times reports in February 2002, y'all, this is a long history. They received a 26-minute videotape allegedly showing Kelly having sex with a minor. And do you know that he tried to pay his brother, Kerry Kelly, $50,000 to say that it was him having sex on the video.
Wow. I didn't know about that one.
I mean,
it's
and this is just
22 minutes.
Yeah, a 26-minute video of him and try to say it's his brother. Anything. The couple, it's not interesting. It's just, unfortunately, the couple reconciled after that, but they lived in different homes. How do you reconcile? Or is that just a cover-up situation? August 2007, y'all, the judge ruled that jurors and the public will see the sex tape in open court, rejecting arguments from defense lawyers and prosecutors that it shouldn't be shown because, of course, they didn't want to show it. So just fast forwarding, there was a child pornography trial in 2008. He was acquitted in 2008 from that. 2009. I mean, when do you learn your lesson? Or is it just that you straight up have a problem and you have a problem and there's nobody around you to help you to deal with your problem? Kelly and his former wife, Aunt Andrea, confirmed that they divorced. And so I fast forward 2018, Faith Rogers, 20, accuses him of sexual battery. And then we remember this. This was seemingly not that long ago, February 14th, 2019. You guys remember attorney Michael Avenatti said he gave Chicago prosecutors a new video of evidence of Kelly having sex with an underage girl. I mean, the shame, and then to record it, and then to just think that you're bigger than the law. Yeah, that you could get away with it. So we come to this. Kelly is charged with 10 counts of aggravated abuse. He is arrested after turning himself into the police, and he posts bond at $1 million, saying it amounts to $250,000 for each of the 4 people he was charged with. And so here we are now. In the federal case in the Eastern District of New York, Kelly faced a total of 9 counts. 1 count of racketeering with underlying acts including sexual exploitation of a child, kidnapping, bribery, sex trafficking charges, and almost 8 additional counts of violation of the Mann Act, which is a sex trafficking law. He was found guilty of 9 counts. And I believe we now are awaiting, right, what his sentencing will be, which they say could be a decade to life. And it's not the only case that he's coming up against. So, I mean, of course, I have in my notes some things about Bill Cosby, 60 women accusing him, and Harvey Weinstein, and we've watched this Me Too movement. But girlfriends, just jump into this conversation. I'm all up in the chat too, and then we're going to go to our first caller. But we have 2 callers on hold, but just girlfriends, jump in.
Let me say this. You know what? When Tony put up there on Facebook, because that was my first question, is they're going to wait till May. This is September. They're waiting till May before they sentence him. So that's number one, very interesting. I wonder what their whole strategy is behind that. And then the whole piece about, they have the civil suit and all this kind of stuff that's going on. But when I tell you the women that have not been protected for the length of this going on should be a total symbol, not just, the attorneys did a good job, but how many people turned their back for so long for people who have so much money and so much power and the lives that are, it's just, I don't know. I don't even know the words, listening to the attorney, Gloria, I don't know her last name, but how she has to prepare those women. Huh?
Gloria Allred?
Yes, exactly. How she has to prepare those women to speak up. I mean, the work that she has to do to prepare them to have the courage to say their truth. That's law school for 3 years in and of itself.
And you can understand now even more why some people don't come forth, because for years and years and years, what difference is it going to make? And now I just have extra shame on top of shame on top of shame. Right. It's really, really unfortunate.
I mean, reading some of the testimonies from these young girls, then what he did, how they were treated, locked in rooms for days at a time, couldn't even come out to use the bathroom, had to wear baggy clothes, only wear something form-fitting around him. He recorded the sex acts. He's just of the devil. I say lock him up and throw away the doggone key. I mean, enough is enough. And then Bill Cosby, I understand, has the nerve to be out there talking about he was railroaded. Bill Cosby needs to shut his mouth and don't even say a word about this. So it makes my stomach turn. It really does.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, we look at don't even know the name, Gabby's fiance, who they're looking for now. And I saw a post yesterday that said if somebody had done that to my daughter, you wouldn't be able to find him either, because I would have handled it. That was somebody's daddy posted that on Facebook. I don't even know how all these parents how they even, I just can't imagine the anguish that they've gone through for all this time, knowing what they knew, but being blocked out of getting their daughters. We're going to go to the phone lines. Thank you in advance for our 3 callers that are on hold. And so, Dorothy, Michael, get ready. Here we go to the phone lines. Of course, we want to hear from first and foremost, Mr. Marathon on the line, chiming in if you got issues. Marathon.
I'm there. Yeah, I'm there. How y'all doing? Thank you. We're here. It's here from the Marathon. Yeah, I was listening to what you were saying about R. Kelly. You know, I feel like R. Kelly couldn't do it alone. He had to have the help of the parents. And that's where greed comes in. You really think all the parents were involved? They thought their daughters were going to be famous, and they went with the plan. Don't you think in some cases the parents, I've heard in some cases that may have been the case, but in other cases that parents tried, and they were blocked out from their daughter. So I've heard it on both sides. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it is sad. It is very sad anyway around. Even they just thought allowing this with his history, perhaps not even allowing your daughter to have even met with or interviewed or any of those things. It's just the other thing that I was looking at is just because you're given enormous talent doesn't mean that you're a perfect person. Absolutely. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I love that Elisa said in too many cases the kids couldn't drive, so who got them there? And that's the truth. Maybe the parents think it's going to be different for my daughter. So Marathon, we appreciate you for calling in and chiming in. And right now, of course, we are just praying and believing for justice. We're grateful for this verdict at this time, and we're standing by waiting for what this the sentencing will look like. We're going to go to our next caller on the line. I believe it's Larry. Thanks, Marathon.
Yes.
Larry, are you there?
Yes, ladies, thank you for taking my call. I'll try to be very brief. So, ladies, I think about how you started the program off like today. And you made mention of someone that would go to these particular concerts. We've had pastors supposedly for backstage, groupies that follow these individuals around. What type of mindset would allow a parent to knowingly allow their child to go and participate in such an event? So while we're on that particular subject, let me say this, lady. Every family, I know we have it in my family, we have that uncle that the whole family knows that is a sexual predator. But this individual from generation to generation has managed to make it through with no jail time, with no anybody in the particular family or going to doing something about it. At what point do we as Black people, at what point do we come to the point where we permit these type of individuals to exist within our own family, and how do we excuse it? Let me take you quick about that.
It's so true, Larry. So many times, if it's not directly in your family, if you know someone that is true, but in so many cases, just even seeing
the recent movie that is in the theaters now about Aretha Franklin's life, and seeing that, like, how was that was my house? How did it happen that she had one child and then the second child, and then I believe a third child? How does that happen? But at some point, it has to change. It's really the parents just have to take responsibility. Absolutely. We're going to continue with our callers. Thank you, Larry, for that important comment and perspective. That is really an issue that we have. And I would say it's not just in the Black community, it's in all communities. But we know, as African American women, we're familiar with the story that has been prevalent in our communities as well. Lisa, we're going to go to you. Lisa, thanks for calling Me Got Issues.
Absolutely. First of all, it's just such a pleasure to be able to talk to you all. I love all of you all dearly, dearly, dearly. And this is, I'm telling you, but this is a topic that boils my blood. That's why I just had to call you. It just bothers me. And to the last commenter, to the last caller, can I just emphasize what you're saying, Katrina, that yes, this is beyond our community. And because it is beyond our community, I say get R. Kelly and get everybody else. David Bowie had a relationship with a girl when she was 14 years old. Jimmy Page of Led Zeppelin had a relationship with a girl who was underage. The girl was reportedly 13 years old. Yeah, we know about R. Kelly, but do we know about Ted Nugent, who had a relationship? First of all, he had a song called Jailbait. In the song, he said, I don't care if you're 13, you look too good to be true. I just know that you're probably clean, right? And that song sold. He had a relationship with an underage girl, a 17-year-old girl when he was in his 20s. Steven Tyler had a relationship with a girl as well when he was in his 20s, and the girl was, I think, 13 years old. Jerry Lee Lewis at 22 married a girl who was 13 years old. So my point is, get them all. I hear a lot of conversation about R. Kelly, and I think that's appropriate. But anybody, we have to start prioritizing women's bodies. We have to start prioritizing the bodies of children. And here's something else that I've heard. The first caller talked about protection, and just because you're gifted, you're not perfect. Well, there's imperfection, and then there's wickedness. This is wickedness. Yeah, wickedness. And so we have to prioritize that and do something about it. And then the last thing I wanted to say is that even despite as boiled up as I get about this, you can see in R. Kelly's life and in the lives of others, you can see that grace was extended. But you can see that there was a measure of grace, as wicked as it was, that was extended over his life. And so the lesson, because I always try to look at things and figure out, so what's the lesson for me? The lesson for me that comes out of this is that whatever any of us need to fix, we need to fix it, right? Whatever it is that we need to tune up, whatever it is we need to adjust, because you're right, Katrina, we are living in an age now where all that stuff, my grandmother would have said, what doesn't come out in the wash will come out in the rail, right? That stuff is being exposed. And so and I'm not saying it's on that level, but whatever level it's on, let's all of us take an opportunity like this to do some introspection, and whatever it is that needs to be fixed, let's fix it. All right, that's my time. I love y'all so much.
Look, you said a lot, Lisa. You said a lot. And that just brings me, when you run it down like that, I'm looking at what Tammy said in the chat, that R. Kelly used to come to her high school, and one of the victims was her friend, who was a hip-hop sparkle. And you tell us about all those people. How about we hold the music industry, if they knew anything about it, how about we hold them responsible? Because when you threaten for their money, for them to be liable, if any of that takes place,
they know about it and look the other way, kind of thing, which so many examples when they look the other way. How about they are held responsible too? I bet you that would nip it in the bud like that, because if their purse strings
get out of the way, I think it would break our hearts and it would open our eyes to know how many women, now I'm not talking about the men who are predators now, but how many women in all genres of music who have been taken advantage of, who who started in the industry at a young age. I'm talking about Aretha Franklin, if you know her story.
Right.
I'm talking about you.
That's
You know
right.
her story. The list goes on and on and on. And sometimes when you see adult women with problems that seem so big to fix, it's because those problems got started on the road when they were taken advantage of as children. And so the whole entertainment industry, in my opinion, needs an overhaul. In the same way that gymnastics needs an overhaul. We have to protect children in this country. We have to protect women in this country. All right, that's my time. I love y'all. Right. Love you. Yeah, I gotta tell you, this thing is so real. I went to lunch with a woman that was at that.
And when Elisa talks about these children, this woman, she's so big now. In fact, she worked for the Trump administration when it came to sex trafficking. And I'm trying to get her on the show because she said when she was 15 years old, this is how deep this stuff runs. Like when you think about all the things that R. Kelly did and all the things that they knew about that he got away with, she said that a couple moved into her neighborhood and they were there for a couple of years. Like, we'll just take you to 7-Eleven and then we'll take you to the theme park and then we'll take you to the neighborhood park. And next thing you know, they were saying, well, let us take you to New York. Let us take you to New York. And her mother kept saying, no, 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 no. And then there was a car accident and her mother was distracted. And they came by and said, ask your mother right now. You know how you get really busy and distracted? Like it was a big distraction. And she said, yeah, whatever. She said, that's all she needed to hear. Jumped in the car, 4 girls, 15 years old, drove to New York. In a weekend, she was sold 27 times at 15 years old. So when you hear that they're a blind eye, you got to talk about the industry, the music industry, the gymnastics, and you got to talk about the legal system. Who is covering this stuff up? Why are they okay covering up? You got the people that are really going for it, but you got the people who know it. There's no way. When you read that list, Caterina, there's no way they know about that in 2008, 2012, 2004. Come on. This has gone on for years, and it was
decades. With this,
I mean, the FBI. Yeah, the FBI covering up even with the gymnastics situation and hearing that testimony at in front of Congress. I mean, listen to some of these statistics. One of the most shocking facts about sexual assault is that approximately only 5% of sexual assault victims report it. Okay, 82% of all juvenile sexual assault victims are female. 90% of adult rape victims are female. Adolescents 14 to 17 were by far the most likely to be sexually victimized. In 2019, over 650,000 women were raped. And we just said that 5%, only 5% is reported. So I'm sure those statistics are way under what they would be. Over 40% of women in the US have encountered sexual violence. Nearly 80% of female sexual assault victims experience their first assault before the age of 25. First assault, which means it often happens, as we talked about, over and over and over. Around 20% of American males have been victims of sexual assault. We want to talk about that it is not just women. And I will say this also, a lot of times when you look at the lives of the predator, if I'm getting this right, some of them are men that have been molested or have had other issues when we really talk about it. Not to make excuse of it, you are supposed to deal with your issues. We got issues and we need to deal with our issues. A quarter of male victims of sexual assault are under the age of 10 when they are assaulted. Rape statistics show that less than 20% of rapes are reported. It just goes on and on and on. I mean, listen to this. Women and men with disabilities face twice the risk of sexual assault than able-bodied individuals. What kind of person do you have to be to sexually assault someone with a disability? I just, and so these stats are just so terrible. Who is protecting these women and children is exactly that. Where is the protection coming from? And so I just want to ask this question. We're clear. I know that I can't imagine anybody who's not in agreement. Clearly he is guilty. Clearly he is Clearly he's guilty. So what do we do when we were just at an event this past weekend and an R. Kelly song came on? Like, what do we do from now until eternity? Should all his music, should they not play his music anymore? What about the people who he wrote music for? Like, he wrote it for them. How do we, can you separate the artist and the person?
It's interesting. One of our callers said she could separate the artist from the person. She can appreciate his music, but disagree with his personal life. For me, I can't. I can't separate the two. It's all in one. I cannot. You're sick. You need to get some help. I'm not going to support your music or your craft. You've done too much harm to too many people. You have wrecked their lives. I'm not supporting it. No, I'm not.
But you know what? There's another way that you can look at it too, because he can generate so much money from his talent, from so much money from that song. Those girls, so many of the problems that need to be addressed are not addressed because it's not economically done. If someone was able to take that music and take those gifts and take all that writing and take all those funds and turn it into something that would protect the children, that would give them some place, I could see something like that happening, because his stuff is going to play forever. It's going to die down for a minute and then it's going to pipe right back up. And if they're not careful, it's going to pipe right back up, and all revenues are going to go right to his family, his brother, his whatever. And that's where it shouldn't go. But if it's going to generate revenues, it should generate to some place where this is taken care of, because it's going to always be an issue. 5%. Can you guys even imagine the issue there and the economic force that it's going to take to do something about it? I could see that happening. That's crazy.
I could see both sides. I could see both sides. Go ahead, Sabrina, real quick.
No, go ahead, Caterina. Finish it up.
No.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just I just want to say to our audience, we started out talking about courage. And so if there is anyone out there who's been a victim of sexual assault, be it someone in your family, someone past, present, or future, we want to encourage you. There are professionals that you can talk to, and there are authorities that you can trust, that you can go to. And if there ever was a time that there are people that can hear your story, you not telling your story means that that person, that perpetrator, there's somebody, the statistics, it says 1 in 6 will be raped. 1 in 6 women will be raped annually in the United States. Yeah. So it would be impossible for us to be broadcasting and for there not to be a number of people that perhaps even haven't reported it. And so we're just encouraging you. We can no longer be silent. If you don't have the courage, get with a girlfriend, get with someone who can help you get to the right authorities to do what is right. So we want to thank you for tuning in today to We Got Issues. This is it is an issue. The only thing we could be thankful for is he was found guilty. And we know that the judge will do the right thing with the sentencing. Tomorrow, we will be back right here on We Got Issues. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye.